Hey guys, and welcome to another guide video. So for this one we're going to be talking about insurance and insurance fraud, as well as a few exceptions of when you don't actually get your insurance back and the pricing. So how you insure your weapons. You can tell if an item is actually insured if it is kind of gold with a little shield next to it, and it will tell you if you hover over it who it is insured by. You can insure from your inventory, so if you right click you can click insure and then you can either choose prepper or therapist. As you can see, therapist does charge a lot more. We'll go into that in just a second, but you can insure this way, or if you go to your Escape From Tarkov, choose your PMC, choose whatever map you're going to go load into, and then you'll be brought to this insurance screen. Here, I would always recommend if you click insure all. Personally, it's just better to insure everything. I always insure stuff in my pouch as well, because sometimes I have accidentally pressed delete on something, not realize, and then couldn't find it. And luckily I found it back in my insurance. But this is how you do it. So you click insure all and then you click insure, yes, and that's it. So going into the insurance, so you have got two people who you can insure with, which is prepper and therapist. Now with prepper is the cheaper option, but it does take longer for you to get your items back. You can get your items back in 24 hours to 36 hours, and you also have 72 hours to collect your items. Now the way that you collect your items is you find prepper in this list right here in your what's it called, your little messenger thing, and then you click receive all, and then you can come and claim your insurance. You have got, it only holds it, so the 72 hours is how long it actually holds inside this inventory. Now if you was to go with a therapist, which in my opinion is actually a better deal, which I think I'm going to be going with the new wipe, she is a bit more expensive. She is 1.75 times more expensive than prepper, but you do get your items back in 12 to 24 hours, and it will also hold all of the items inside your messenger for 6 days, which is absolutely a lot more than prepper does. So if you're, you have to go away for a couple of days, or you're someone who works at the weekend or something along the lines of that, the therapist will be definitely the one that you want to go down for as well. So if you level up your hideout as well, so if you increase your, if we quickly head over to the hideout and go to the intelligence center, if it's going to load, if you go to your intelligence center right here, you can see that your insurance return time is reduced by 20%. So the prepper, you can get your items back in 20 to 29 hours instead of 24 to 36, or with the therapist you could even get it back in 10 hours to 20 hours. So these are the two options that you have with your two insurance options in Tarkov. Maybe in the future they might release more, possibly Ragman or something along the lines of that. But if you're someone who's going to be playing a lot, then possibly prepper might be the way to go. But if you're someone who doesn't play an awful lot, then the therapist will definitely be the way to go, because she does hold her insurance for a lot longer, and you can kind of use it as a second stash as well, which is what I do quite a lot of the time with prepper. But with a therapist it's definitely going to be a lot more better. Something else to take note with your insurance, you can see that nades aren't insured. You cannot insure nades. If you die in a raid you won't get your nades back, as well as medication, as well as the bullets inside of your gun as well. You won't get that back. So let's say you're doing a co-op with a buddy and you know he's running some really good ammunition. I would actually recommend, if you unpack his ammo before you leave, because that ammo is a lost cause, and it's also, at the moment it's expensive as anything because of the wipe. But I would definitely recommend that you grab the ammo before you disappear as well. Something else to take note too is that the only times that you do not get your insurance back is if you go to the labs map. You don't get insurance, even though you can insure, you won't get your insurance back if you do not extract before the end of the raid. Now if you know that you're going to die, the best thing to do is literally just throw all of your gear on the ground. It's a weird one, it's a easy loophole to get through as well. But literally, if you are going to go MIA, literally just throw all of your gear on the ground and then you'll get it back. As well as if you die from dehydration, you don't get your insurance back. Now that one was a surprise to me until I did more research into this topic, but you do not get your insurance back if you die to dehydration. So now what I'm going to do is head into interchange, and I'm going to show you a little bit of your insurance fraud that you can do to get your items back if you killed a gear guy or killed a scav and you want his loot. So I'll give you a few tips on ditching gear efficiently inside of raids. Now you need to try and think of ways of finding locations or getting to locations that people wouldn't go for really no reason. So we're inside interchange right here. This is just a few examples. You want to try and get somewhere quite high to ditch your stuff where people just won't seem to look. Like even just jumping up on here and throwing your bag down. If it actually stayed up here, this would be a pretty good spot. I'll show you another one as well. So inside this area right here, what's this called? I think this is attic. Yeah, attic. This one right here is really good for ditching guns. So let's say you just killed killer just down here. You can literally come up here, throw your gun on the ground, and then as you can see right here, there's no way of seeing us up here unless you're like actively trying to look. But you're basically guaranteed to get your gun back unless someone is obviously, you know, watching you do it, or seeing, or just, you know, if you leave the evidence, or even just watching this video. So this is a good spot to place because of the video, but there is a few more locations. So another great location, or a great way of ditching stuff that I don't actually see people do, is actually hide stuff in containers. So in Tarkov, when someone's looted a container, it's gonna always show as closed. So there's a container inside of here, right? And it says search right now. But if I search this, okay, and then the options come up right here, that container is now going to be stuck on saying close. For me, client side, it says search because I've just searched it, but on server side, it will always say close. So if someone's coming along right here and they just happen to look down here and they see that says close, they're not going to search it because there's nothing in there because you've already looted it. So what you can actually do is ditch, let's say you got a helmet, ditch your helmet in here, and because it's going to say close still, people are just going to come walk past and not search it. So you can find duffel bags or any sort of containers in some really weird spots in most maps anyway. So like you can hide it in caches. I wouldn't actually recommend doing caches because you do get a lot of people doing money runs for caches. But there's some really obscure places for duffel bags or toolkits. The little tool bags are really good for ditching stuff as well. And when you place items inside containers, you do get it back in insurance, which is, you know, one of the main reasons. I've been doing it for quite a while now, ditching my stuff, and I have every single time got one of my items back. I've never had it go to crap. Another great way of ditching items as well is literally finding small little corners to ditch stuff that you wouldn't normally go, just like throwing stuff on top of, you know, the building on top of those boxes inside here. Is finding little corners like this where people wouldn't go. But this is a high traffic area, so I wouldn't recommend this. I'm just here because of the good lighting. But if you could find some really obscure places that you can ditch your stuff, I would also recommend if you put your items inside your bag, because you can see that's quite big. There's quite a few items, and then obviously same with a gun as well. Let's say you've killed someone, you're going to take all of their loot and do a full-on insurance. You can see there's a lot of items right here. But what you can do is literally just use your backpack. Backpacks would definitely be one of the best ways, in my opinion, to ditch stuff. So if we can actually pick this up, you can fit everything nice and neat in a backpack. I think this has got a 2x. There we go. So literally like this, everything's in here, and then compared to before, if I throw this on the ground now, you can see that it's just a tiny little bag right here. Obviously, if someone sees it, tries it, they'll pick it up. Me personally, I would as well. But if you ditch it significantly well and just actually go for little spots, so like even back here might be a good spot. You just got to try and see what your surroundings are and see where you can, you know, ditch stuff. Just use common sense when you're actually ditching items, and don't just go, oh, okay, this bench right here or right here is a good spot, because this is right in the middle of a high traffic location with lots of people, means lots of things. Another great spot for ditching stuff on Interchange and other maps is just throwing it inside, you know, these type of little stalls right here. Like right here, this what's it called, duffel bag, great spot to go ditch your helmet or armor or something like this. Hopefully you guys found this guide useful. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I do stream over on twitch.tv/piranha_ 7 days a week, starting at 8 AM GMT. Don't forget to check out the links in the description as well to our spreadsheet that we're currently building for every single one of our keys, extract tasks and gun build videos. Guys, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.